Hello, everyone. This is Linda Ferguson,
And Karen Nelson Bell.
and welcome to another episode of Platinum Prime for Life, your show, which shows you what we do to live a Platinum Prime life for our life after 50 something. And we're going to share with you the tips that hopefully you can use as well. So, right now, I am in a beautiful yard in just outside of Las Vegas. And I'm here on a work staycation. So I'm also being a grandma. So I am babysitting my first grandson. And while I'm here, I'm definitely working hard. And I just found out that Karen, I actually didn't know this or I didn't remember it, is also going to be here in a couple days, which,
In the same suburb.
yeah, in literally the same suburb of Henderson, Nevada. So, isn't that exciting? So, guess what our show is about today? It is about working and playing on the road in a platinum prime way for those of you over 50 who still play hard and live an incredible life. So, we have tips. My tips are not Karen's tips. So, between our tips, you should learn something today. Hey, so Karen, one of the things we were talking about is what you pack when you travel. Like, are you like a heavy packer? Do you have lots of bags and stuff? Are you like me? So I've actually done this whole lifestyle that I embraced it, and that is living small. So I actually have a domain that I've never done anything with called Living Large by Living Small. Because to me, once you have yourself and your good health and enough money in the bank and enough knowledge in your head, you can very thoughtfully choose what to have around you to support exactly the life you want. You don't need, although you can have it if you choose to, but you don't need a whole lot of stuff. So, with that in mind, for many years, I would just pack one backpack. It happens to be a Grant Cardone 10X backpack that says 10X on the back. Um, and in that, I would put whatever I needed, and it had to last me however long I was going to be gone. So if I was gone for a few days, yeah. If I was gone for 2 months, the same amount of stuff would be in there. So I had to be very judicious about what I packed. And to this day, that's still how I travel. Same
Wow,
stuff.
that's
How about
awesome.
you?
Well, for work as a musician, a lot of times I had to take a lot more stuff. I had to take costuming and equipment stuff, and so I did travel with a lot of suitcases. Whether I was flying or driving, it was quite a bit of stuff that was just demanded for the job. And even when I was for quite a long while, for a couple of years, I was on the speaking circuit. I was a public speaker on behalf of the Robert Allen Institute, training, doing 3 day weekends, training people on real estate investing. And I would have to take stuff with me. I had to have 3 outfits, one for each day, and I had to have all of the materials that went with, and this and that. So it was an ordeal, really. It was an ordeal. I'd have probably 3 suitcases and a carry-on and a personal bag. So it was a lot. But now I
Yeah.
bought I bought a little child's roll-on for like a little girl. It's purple, a little purple little girl's roll-on, and I fit everything into the little roll-on. So my roll-on is probably smaller than your backpack. I
Oh
think
my
it's
gosh.
in your backpack, and it fits any place I want to put it. It fits. There's, even though they've been changing what you can and cannot do on an airplane. No worries, because it's a little kids thing. And I'm like you. I take enough I'm going to go for 4 days to Vegas. I'm going to, on Thursday, I'm flying in. On Sunday, I'm flying out. I'm wearing the same thing those days. I'm wearing the same pair of shoes the whole time. I'm going to make do with two pairs of socks. And I'm going to wear the same pants all 4 days, the same pants. And on Friday and Saturday, I'll have different tops because I'm going to a business convention, and I'll have two different tops, and that's that. And I'll fit my makeup, and I'm not going to take a computer. I'm just going to take my cell phone. I might take, if I can find space, I might take a keyboard for the phone so that I can, because I'm a touch typist and I prefer to type than anything else. But if not, I'll just use voice to text. I found a nice voice to text app called Whisperflow.
What is
Whisper,
that?
Whisperflow types exactly like, it's like a virtual assistant. It's like having
No.
a beautiful, beautiful virtual assistant. It's the best dictation app I've ever seen, ever, ever, ever. So cool. And so that's me. You're with your backpack, and I'm with my little kitty kitty roll on.
You have to actually share a picture of that, and I will post it in the comments later.
I
But
will. I definitely will. I'm not packing until Thursday, but maybe I could take a picture of it empty or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But
yeah, totally.
but
Just
here's
take a picture of the size of your gear, right? The
okay.
size of
I'm
you're going
happy.
to fit everything into that because
Yeah.
I will take a picture, spread it out on the bed of my backpack and all the things that go in it, right?
Uh,
Because it's funny because you look at it and you think, oh, is it all going to fit? And I do. I bring my computer and stuff like that. I need a computer to work, so a little bit different. But I do. I have like layered things. Like I just have three black tops that are like this, and black leggings, and then these different sort of woo shirts
yeah.
that go over. And then I really just accessorize with jewelry if I want to like dress it up or whatever. So that's a good way for me to change my look. Makeup and jewelry can really just change the vibe. Oh, you change your hats. Okay.
Probably wear the same pair of the only jewelry I have is earrings. I'll probably wear the same earrings the weekend. But I want to tell you something about travel. When you are a
Yeah.
senior, you think that you're going to have your senior years are going to be filled with wonderful travels. That's kind of the standard mock up, the way people think of it. Duncan, my husband, who's been gone now for in November, it'll be 21 years, we traveled in a 45-foot fifth wheel RV. And we traveled for 2 years that way, all over America, because I was producing the show Country Tonight. And he was helping with all the audiovisual stuff that we actually had. Part of the RV was devoted to making VHS tapes. We had a bank of like 30 VHS tape recorders, and we would record the show professionally, and then we'd transfer it to VHS tape and sell it to the audience on the second half of after the show ended.
Gosh.
And so we had this in this very cramped quarters, and we had a kitty cat with us as well. Rainbow always traveled. I always wondered what was in her mind, because every time we'd open the door for her to go out, there was some new environment, and she could, she never got to get really used to some stability. I was wondering what was going through her mind of, wow, this is different. Anyway, traveling that way was wonderful, and I think a lot of people think that when they become seniors that they're going to get in an RV and travel America and enjoy it. And I do see a lot of seniors taking that route, and I loved it. And I'm really sorry that Duncan. I don't think it would be as enjoyable doing it by myself. Maybe it would. There was didn't that Academy Award winning movie was about a gal who lived in her RV by herself. And do you remember that?
I do not remember the Academy Award winning
The
movie,
gal,
but
that was, the gal that was the star of Fargo, she starred in that movie, and she got
oh,
the award.
didn't watch Fargo either, so it's like over my head. But
Okay, but that's what
tiny living and that whole genre, I'm very, very familiar with micro campers. I'm familiar with that whole
Yeah,
lifestyle,
yeah,
and it is a lifestyle for sure. But doing it on your
it
own,
really is.
it's never as
I
fun as having a
I
partner.
can't quite do it. And here's another thing that has burdened me, and now it's unburdened, but it burdened me because for 35 years I've had such chronic pain that just going to the airport is very unpleasant. Just walking,
Yeah.
just sitting at the airport is unpleasant. Everything
Yeah.
hurt, my knees and my knees and my back, and it was just torture to travel. And I can't really, if I would go to Paris, I wouldn't enjoy walking around the streets. It would have been a torture to walk around the streets of Paris.
Oh, wow.
Now that I have my health back, now that I started working on my health at the age of 74. I'm 81 now. So it's been, what is that, 7 years? I've been working on 7.5 years. I've been working on my health. And now I'm healthy, strong, fit, and trim, and I'm pain free. I've found multiple resources over the last year and a half. I've had 5 health miracles that allow me to look at the future differently so I can look at traveling again. Like I'm actually going to walk through the airport. Now that'll give me my 10,000 steps for the day, I think.
Easily. Las
But
Vegas Airport. Oh my gosh. They make
walking,
sure you go by all of the slot machines. I mean,
I've had enough
that's
slot machines.
Vegas.
In my 55 years in Vegas, I've had enough slot machines to last. But I will to not take a wheelchair through the airport is a huge deal for me. I am so excited to do that and have no pay. I'm it's like a gigantic experiment. The travel tomorrow is going to be the first time I've traveled since becoming pain free, and I'm really
Wow.
looking forward to it. It's like the last testament to my success at the resources I've used to help myself become pain free. It's the last like verification because I keep looking. Am I really pain free? I can hardly even believe it, you know. And so tomorrow Thursday I'm leaving, and Thursday it will be a gigantic experiment for me. And if the experiment goes well, I'm going to be thrilled because it opens up the opportunity for travel in my senior years. Otherwise, it wouldn't be any fun. So, you guys, you know I'm all about health and wellness for seniors. You've got to start now because you don't want to be in a situation where you can't travel and enjoy your senior years when all your other friends are going to Panama and you know, Costa Rica. I have friends in Panama and Costa Rica. I have friends in Mexico, expats, you know, American expats, and I couldn't. They say, why don't you come visit? And I'm like, you have no idea. I don't want to come visit. I love you, but I don't want to fly. I don't want to walk. Now I'm like, oh, let's go. Let's.
I'm good. Well, we're going to have dinner on Thursday night, so we'll take some selfies for our next show because we're going to meet up out here. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
And I will have been with an almost 2-year old between the time that we're talking now and I see you. And so you're probably going to be in a much better shape than me because already a 2-year old is boundless energy. It's a little boy, Koa, who's just adorable, but he is the Energizer Bunny. And we went out to, so we went to dinner last night at a place called Juan's Flaming Fajitas in Las Vegas. And for those of you who ever travel out here, Juan's Flaming Fajitas is actually in Henderson, but it's m- hands down my favorite Mexican restaurant that I've ever been to ever. The ambiance is incredible. There's always a line. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. And their fajita dishes come out and they flame them up, right? So there's stuff going on. And this little, less than 2-year old was just running both his mom and I ragged last night, like just running. And the energy, the vibes of the place really kept him going until far past his bedtime when he got home. So,
Can we go
yeah.
there Thursday night? Can we go there?
Maureen doesn't actually. Our friend Maureen doesn't. enjoy it. She doesn't like so much attention going out. So I've taken her there before and she's just like, no.
Kind of goes to my point is that our beautiful mutual friend has health issues that prevent her from being mobile. And so start now, folks. Start now, ladies. Start now. I doubt that if you're 25 you're watching us, but you know what? If you're 55 and you're watching
But you
us,
could be. You
start
could be
now.
25 and watching us. The point is that when you take health off the table, you've taken such a huge percentage of what you're able to enjoy in life away. And the fact, even if you're just low on energy, like I chronically will have sleep issues. And the difference between a good night's sleep and a not good night's sleep is so tremendous that it's like two different people.
That's right.
It's just two different
I,
people. So
I always say I have energy that I could sell to teenagers, but I don't think I could get a 2-year-old to buy my energy because they don't need it.
they do not need it. No.
They do not need my energy.
So here's some of the things about travel though. So when you get older, and Karen and I happen to enjoy good health overall. She's probably healthier than I am, but overall, good health. And we have lots of friends that they've had issues. Maybe they're healthy now, but the pathway to them being healthy means they need more support. They need more things in their life to keep that health level up, which is medication and stuff like that, right? How do you do that? How do you plan travel so that you arrive and your downtime between leaving home and hitting the ground running stays pretty high? So, as always, we have a handout that is sharing some of the tips that we do to travel. And while I don't travel as much now because I'm married and my husband isn't able to travel as much with me, nor is he someone who's embraced it as much as I have. So he more married a gypsy, and I'm like having to sort of um, dial things back a little bit until we structure life so that it's more supportive of that. But so I'm not traveling as much, but I haven't changed those lists of things and the way I do things to travel because it also, just like you going, well, I'm leaving on Thursday and I probably won't even pack till then. That's the same with me. I already know what I'm going to take. So it's not like I have to prepare for weeks ahead of time to think it through. Their lists are there, and we're going to share our own list with you. And then I'm going to take a photo of the things that I bring because
Yeah.
while it all fits in a bag, that bag weighs, it used to weigh over 50 pounds. I used to always bring two computers, like always, two laptops, two phones, which I still travel with two phones, redundancy plus all the makeup, all the lights, all the whatevers. And because technology has just hurtled through into the future. So now I store everything in the clouds. I don't need to have two laptops because if things crash out, I can just jump on my phone. It still is workable. Although, there you go. And then the technology's gotten lighter and lighter, which thankfully has mirrored my getting older and older. So it's like, it's still a big backpack. It still weighs a lot, but personally, I think it's about maybe 15 pounds less than it used to be. And I do e-readers instead of packing a couple books to read. So I'm
Yeah.
loving it.
Yeah, I just listening to you talk, I think I'll take my iPad. I wasn't going to take the iPad. I use an app called List Omni, and List Omni lets me make a bunch of different lists, and I have different packing lists for different styles of trips. So I went to my packing list for the four day convention packing list, which is different from a 4 day
Oh, you
vacation.
have a list called 4 Day Convention Packing List?
Yeah.
You got to share that one. Oh my God. I have to see what's on that list. And I actually have an app that I've used for years and I'll recommend it and I'll include a link to it. It's called Workflowy. Oh, come on this way. There you go. And up. We're good. Okay, good. Yeah, and I'll show you workflowy since I'm on my phone. You can't see it, but same thing. It's cross-platform, meaning I have two phones. Like I said, I always have two phones with me, and it sits on either of those. Yeah, this Riverside is the studio that we use to do our podcast. It's on all my phones. It's on all my laptops. Um, I have a home office, I have an office, and in each of those offices, I have two computers. Like, yeah, if apocalypse came, I'd have a backup for
I think
that.
that's awesome. I think
But
also,
Workflowy has stuff that's like 10 years old. I've had it for that long. It's awesome. And so I do have my list too. I'll
well,
show
the
that.
fact that I'm only going for 4 days makes my list a little smaller than the list that I would make if I were going for 2 weeks.
Okay. Well,
I would
you
take,
still have like, you take lots of vitamins, all of the supplements and things that you take to support your life, right?
yeah, but
You're
they're,
going somewhere. Will they have them there? Will you be able to like just get your stuff there? You don't have to bring it all?
oh,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I pretty much have what I need for that stuff I have in my pocket. I have jeggings with actual pockets. Most jeggings don't have pockets, but they have pockets in the front and pockets in the back. And I got a bra so I can put stuff in there. And
Jesus. You're giving it away. Oh, wait a minute. Here. Yeah.
oh,
Oh, yeah. Wait.
well,
Here's my vitamins.
so here's what's in my bra right now. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, you shared it last time because I said, what is that? A life alert? And you said,
Oh,
no, it's
that's my step tracker.
hilarious.
It's silly. Oh my gosh, I'm silly. I'm silly.
You know
Well,
what's even funnier is because you're on camera so much, besides this weekly podcast, Karen literally posts just about every aspect of her life daily. So there's short videos of her doing stuff. I had to actually tell her, Karen, I need some actual photographs of you because you're all about video and talking into the video. But that's her video remote. Start and stop things or take pictures.
that's right. I had on my video remote. That's
Uh-huh. Well, what
now
was that one?
this one is my step tracker.
Oh no, you know what? It garbled for just a minute on my end. I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah,
Your step tracker.
step tracker on the right, video remote on the left.
There you go.
I don't
What
have.
size bra do you wear now?
Now, when I was a young one, when I was in my young career, I had the desire to travel the world because I felt coming from Kansas. I was born in Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas. Coming from a Midwest area, I felt like I didn't have much life experience, and I wanted to know all the cultures. I wanted to know were people uh, from Thailand different from me, or were they actually pretty much the same? I wanted to know about their music and their food and their culture and just everything. I wanted to know everything about them. I wanted to have conversations with people. So I lived all over the world. I lived for a year all over Scandinavia. I lived for a half of a year all over Africa. I've lived all over Canada. I've lived in the Caribbean islands and somewhat all over, not as much all over Europe, just really only Germany, Italy, and Belgium, and
Wow,
Holland.
that's a
So
lot.
really not as much. I've never been to France. That's a big, and I'd love to go to Australia, and I'd love to go to what's the island next to Australia?
The
Yeah,
islands next to Australia, yeah, Indonesia.
no.
Indonesia?
The people with the Australian accent.
The Kiwis? You're
Yeah.
talking about
What?
senior moment here?
No, not senior. This is an American thing. Americans don't know their
New
geography.
Zealand.
New Zealand, New
There you go.
Zealand. That's right. And those are places I really want to go. And I had stopped wanting to travel. It just went out of me when I had so much pain. And I had stopped wanting to travel. And I think that cut me off from part of the world because I'm still so curious about people. I'm curious about, I enjoy watching TV shows that clearly are meant for African Americans or clearly meant for Latinos. I like watching it because it lets me peek into somebody else's culture, and that's what I love about traveling is peeking into someone else's culture. It's just so much fun to see how they live. I remember. Can I tell you one story? Have we got time for me to tell you one story about Africa?
Sure.
I was traveling in Africa, performing in the evenings in a casino in Botswana, and in Botswana, in the daytime, I got to travel all around the area where I lived to just go like a tourist. I was basically a tourist, and I took my camera with me because I was a camera nut. I still am. I'm a photography nut. If I didn't do what I do for a living, I'd be a photographer. So I was out in the boonies, and it was in an area where people lived in grass huts, and they cooked over cow dung fires, and they ground corn for their main meal was mealie meal made out of corn. And I saw three teenagers in the distance. They had a transistor radio, and they were dancing. And I thought to myself, well, I'll introduce myself, and I'll see if I can't see some African dancing, not putting on it, somebody putting on a show, but people dancing, in the street. So I befriended them. I introduced myself, and we talked a little bit, and I asked them what they were listening to, and could I dance with them, or would they teach me to dance? But what they were listening to, I wonder if you can remember this. Upside down, your love burning me upside down, and inside. It was Diana Ross. So here I was, a half of a planet away from Diana Ross, and that's what they were listening to. American music was so pervasive that that's what was in the boonies of Africa, out where the huts and the meals was Diana Ross.
Wow. That is a really interesting, but I'm not totally surprised, but it is interesting because what a cultural clash,
Yeah.
like right there. Yeah.
But people talk today about appropriation of cultures and that you shouldn't appropriate another person's culture. But in music and how I was raised, it was wonderful that you would learn from another, like learning from Cuban music or learning from going to Rio de Janeiro to learn and absorb the music there, and jazz is filled with Afro rhythms, and I thought always that it was just wonderful that we would absorb each other's cultures, and I guess maybe appropriation involves taking something that's from another culture and making money off of it, maybe. But if you if you're not Chinese and you open up a Chinese restaurant, is that appropriation? I'm a little confused on this topic. Maybe we can talk. I'm sorry, totally off field. I'm totally
We're
going.
like, let's go over. Yeah.
Astray. Sorry.
Okay, so I've taken measure of your energy now. Everybody's seen it. Now we are going to do the update after the travel and hear what the experience was like. Honestly, Las Vegas airport has such a long trek between landing and getting picked up. Used to be really confusing. No matter how many times I arrived here, I'd be like, oh, do you have to go down? You go up, just change. Now I've got it a little bit better, but it's a long trek. And for me, I was like, I'm envious of those guys that have the little beep beep golf carts taking them places because this is a long walk. So I will have just things to greet you when we see each other Thursday night. And then we'll check in and do just a real quick little update on
That's
how
a
did
good
it go,
idea.
Karen?
That's a
How
good
did it
idea.
go? All right. And with that,
All right.
we want you all to enjoy a Platinum Prime experience when you travel. So you can either pack tiny like me or pack tiny like Karen, both of us, which is actually very cool. Another point of friendship there. So that it doesn't take like forever to get on the plane or off the plane. We just walk on, sit down, arrive, get off, save a bunch of time, and still enjoy the experience to the fullest. I'm going to take a picture of what I pack when I travel, and Karen promised to do the same, and we will share that too. All right, everybody. In the meantime, until next week, have a platinum prime life. Bye.
Bye.